I don't think I want to know. Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome again to another Astronomy Daily Live. And here's one of our little friends here. Just decided to come in and join us last minute. He was knocking at the door, so it's like, I'm just the servant. So whatever they want, they get. So there we go. And just arriving at the panel just in time is Bobby. Hey there, Bobby.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on over there?
Yeah, I just finished with the mighty KBC.
The mighty KBC.
And did you not know that Harp, when Jules was on 5400 using CW? I haven't checked that once again. So you want to follow CT Fallon on Twitter? Hold up.
I do.
Okay. So you follow CT Fallon.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So if you follow him, you will know where you gotta go for Harp.
Cool. Very cool. All right. Well, welcome, friends. Come on in. This is the virtual porch where we gather pretty much each and every day to think and talk astronomical things for a while because, I don't know much of anything, but I know a few extra things about astronomy, maybe a couple things about music. That's about the limit of my knowledge, right? I sort of, know other things, like how to eat and sleep and how to drive once in a while, and that kind of thing. But can't claim to be too knowledgeable in most things. But there are a couple astronomical things that I have at least heard over the years, and so I like to share it. It's one of those things that definitely isn't for everybody, right? So I'm not really interested in casting any kind of wide net and see who I catch. A lot of the astronomical live streams and podcasts are doing that, right? They're trying to teach you things, or they're trying to communicate science, or anything else. And my approach is different. I think those things will happen, and I don't have to try at all because they just will. Because I'm stepping back, sort of one more step, and just basically, looking at things in sort of a scientific way, using what I consider to be sort of the three legs of science. That is open-mindedness, extreme open-mindedness, extremely harsh and strong skepticism. Now, not cynicism, right? Cynicism is when it's like, yeah, the world sucks and I don't really care anyway. Skepticism is, what is that? And everything I hear, it's like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't know, right? And then curiosity, right? Which at least for me is extremely motivating. Just because there are so many interesting things, and there's just so much to do. So yeah, early on, when I was very, very young, I said, okay, I'm interested in everything. Okay, who does that? and looked around, and it's like, the astronomers are studying the universe. That's pretty much everything, I would say. So I'm going to do that, and that's what I've done ever since. And I I do thoroughly enjoy sharing it, and I like hearing about it. I try to keep up on it, I, and I definitely try, to learn things about it. But the simple uh, fact is that I've thought about it, and I've worked in it for a really 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 long time, and if you repeat things over and over and over again, you 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 almost naturally get better, almost. So it's a lot like practicing, right? Music, right? So you practice, you practice, you practice, because you're trying to get better, and that's sort of how I feel about my path with astronomy. Now I am checking the chat, and let's see. I see Tom is in the chat. Hey there, Tom. Atta is in the chat, and Bobby is also in the chat. So cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, you know, I think the skepticism makes isn't. I don't know if I'm seeing a lot of skepticism, right? I'm seeing a lot of what has always happened, um, and that is, any kind of new ideas or anything um, aren't examined skeptically. They aren't examined, period. And in fact, they are ridiculed, right? Um, uh, but and so I see that as just a repeat of uh, um, things that have happened before, right? This ridiculous idea about uh, powered flight. You know, uh, these other weird things like traveling faster than the speed of sound. It's ridiculous, right? Absolutely ludicrous, right? Oh, here's one. Here's one. Spherical Earth. Outrageous, right? Totally outrageous. Don't even look at it, right? Because it's so wrong that it's not even worth looking at.
Yeah.
So my point is that there are a lot of alternative ideas to sort of the current story, and what I'd like all of us to do is open our minds a little bit, dig into that curiosity, and look at things very very skeptically, but take a good look, right? Take a good look, think about it. um, you know, you never know. So, all of our current ideas about things that we hold near and dear now were once absolutely either unknown or completely outrageous. So yeah, that's where those things come from. So so yeah, that's sort of what I've learned over the years, is that this scientific process is actually what's called the process fractal, right? So you've heard of geometrical fractals, right? Like the Mandelbrot set, and lots of other ones. I think I I dare say that there's probably an infinity of fractal geometries. Well, I'm talking about a process that is fractal. So at any scale in that process, the same kinds of things are going on, right? So in this case, it's sort of like a self-feeding thing. That's sort of the scientific process. um, and it's pretty awesome if it's used correctly, right? A lot of what's going on today isn't really a scientific process. It's it's more like a dogma. It's more like, you know, like I've said, the scientists have sort of become the high priests who have the answers, right? So when there's any kind of, turmoil or confusion or anything, you get a scientist on there, and he or she will tell you what's up. And I don't really buy into that much. These people are as um, uh, unsure of themselves as all of us are. So yeah, to be that sure, that's an act, right? That's sort of them putting on their scientist hat, and giving some kind of answers. People like to have answers, so no problem there. But to claim to have any kind of answer is a hard one, right? So that's why I always, you know, oftentimes you'll hear me preface things like, this is the current story, or this is what we sort of think now. Um,
All
I
right. Adelana said that many scientists these days seem to be more concerned with being considered right rather than accurate. It's all about the status. To a certain extent, this always has been true, but I really think it is worse today.
Yeah, and Ata, I'm not quite sure if it's any worse or not. I kind of tend to think that it's probably about the same as it has been. And um, uh, I I think you know it seems to me that maybe this is just how things go. Is that uh, there's a it doesn't take a huge majority or a huge number of people to sort of begin to tilt the scales, right? Um, so yeah, I'm just saying that um, you know those are sort of the three legs of science that I like to stand on, and they have served me really really well. Um, but they also sort of concern me a little bit in sort of modern day science seeming to be just repeating itself over and over and over again. And like I said, maybe that's the process that we just have to go through. And maybe we're sort of, I mean, I hate to use the term stuck with it, but I mean, maybe that's about as good as we humans can do, which isn't bad, right? I mean, we're doing okay. I mean, we've got you know, some uh, some weird behaviors of sorts, but I think that's just because we're a little bit confused about what our situation is. Um, and I think if we knew how awesome um, we actually had it made, uh, we definitely wouldn't have the kinds of weird problems that we have today. Like lack of resources, hunger, lack of education, lack of health care. Those kinds of things can really really easily just go away, um, uh, and we can gain some new problems, most of which are unknown. Right? We don't know what kinds of problems we're going to have, 50 years from now or 100 years from now. We have absolutely no idea. You know, we can look in the past and sort of extrapolate, right? But how accurate is that? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, welcome. Here on this live stream, we can also get moderately philosophical. So cheers. Speaking of philosophical, there's about 10 to the 20 23rd, 10 to the 24th molecules of HOH in this mug of this incredible liquid. Cheers.
Now, out of my curiosity, you're starting to get some snow somewhere around this week, or what?
I think my locality has avoided the snow. I think so. There's still a possibility, I think, but no, I think the chances of that this time around with this little storm blowing through, I think are getting less and less by the minute. So tonight's going to be cold. It's going to be definitely in the 20s Fahrenheit. So it's going to be pretty darn cold. But yeah, I played a musical gig today. I didn't exactly forget about it, but it was just a thing where it's like, oh yeah, that's tomorrow. Okay. So that was fun. No surprises there. Actually, there was one surprise. And that was so the person that I play with is a native flute player. Very, very good, extremely good. Makes me look good. And we were playing our last song in our set, right? We had an hour-long set, and so we were playing. We were just about to begin our last song, right? Our last song. He picks up his flute. I start playing, because I, in this particular song, I'm starting first, right? So I start to play, right? And he plays a note, and we look at each other, and it's like, you're playing in the wrong key, flute player. So he looks down at his flute, and he's like, I forgot to bring my C flute. These flutes are apparently tuned to different notes. So, he's got an F and a B and a C and an E. I forget exactly what he's got. But this particular song is in the key of C. And he forgot his C flute. So, for about half a second or so, I was like, oh man, what are we going to do? Okay, well, I'll just transpose. Oh, no, I can't transpose on the fly. I can change the key on my board. No, that'll take too long. Okay, I'll transpose. So yeah, I played this song on the fly. Usually play it in C, had to play it in B. So actually that is really, really easy because it's just one half step down. So it was actually really, really easy to translate. So or transpose. But so yeah, other than that, there were no surprises. I think everybody liked it. Yeah, it was cold. It was definitely cold. So, which
now, did you ever talk to your musician about getting samples or digitizing?
Yes, I actually did, Bobby. Thank you for reminding me about that. I will email you an MP3 after this live stream.
Okay.
And if that's too big, then I will put it on a Google Drive and I'll share it with you.
Doesn't matter what you want to do.
Okay. I'm just not quite sure how big it is, and I think I don't know if Gmail has a limit in terms of the size of the attachments. I know that Yahoo does. So I'm not quite sure how big this MP3 file is, but yes, I will send it to you post haste, and that goes for. Um, um,
Yeah. I forgot how big you gotta send that file and stuff. I usually use like file postings that will, once you upload it, it's going to be there about a few days, and then it's going to be like deleted. And all you gotta do is like, what I did is I upload the files and I send it to that email. He opens the link, he downloads it, and bygones be bygones.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think that that sort of sounds similar to me putting it like on a Google Drive or something, and then sending you the link, get the link to it. So yeah, I will I will try to email it to you first, and if that doesn't work, then we'll do plan B. If that doesn't work, we'll do plan C. I'll get it to you. No,
Now on Google Drive, I think you can do whatever you want if you put it on Google Drive.
yeah, yeah. I think I can either send you a link to it, or I can even share it with you. So either way, one way or another, we'll get it to you. So yeah, yeah. I'll send you. It's the song I'm going to send you is sort of his um, signature song. So yeah, and the recording that I have of that isn't me. It's actually somebody else. So this is just off of his album, which I think came out several years ago. So 25 megabytes on Gmail. Okay, yeah, there is a way to send larger files, but I probably shouldn't do it though. Okay, so 25 megs. I don't know how big this thing is. It's probably not that big. It's probably not that big. Because it's an MP3 and it's audio, right? So I mean, it's probably a 44.1. So yeah, that's not going to be very big. So yeah, I'll get it to you no matter what. Um, and yeah, yeah. So we'll do that. Well, you know, 12 times every single year, we have an opportunity to look at the astronomical events that are going to happen in the following month. And today is the day to at least get started on that. I'm fiddling with an eyepiece here. It was just on my desk, and I like to, you know, do fun things with eyepieces, like, you know, sort of put them up there and see what they look like. And I really like this. I really like the color. Here, I'm going to get out of the way, and you can.
Looks like we're in a James Bond movie.
Yeah, I just really like. I like those colors, you know. Anyway, yeah, fiddling with eyepieces. It's always fun. Anyway, cloudynights.com every single month. Hold on one sec. So cloudynights.com at the beginning of every month has a sort of a breakdown of astronomical events that are going to be happening in the coming month. And there's always something interesting, and in fact, probably where I should go first is just, I mean, if you haven't already heard, there's a relatively bright and brightening comet in the evening sky right now, and I think there are some predictions that are putting it peaking at about third magnitude um, in the next couple of weeks. I think it just so happens that its closest passage to Earth and its perihelion. Perihelion is its closest approach to the sun. Are like really, really, really close to one another. So the Earth and this comet are really, really close, and it's as close to the sun as it's going to get. So it's technically speaking, it's sort of the most energetic it's going to be this passage. So it's a great apparition. And like I said, there are predictions that it's going to go to like third magnitude. And I think I posted. I'm gonna let's see. Let me find it first here, and then I will share my screen because I think I posted it over on the Discord. But I do not remember exactly where. Looking for it. Looking for it. Maybe it's under. There it is. Okay. So here, I'll share my screen now. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, push the right button. Okay, sharing my screen. Now we'll go over here, and okay, so they've actually. It looks like I'm not quite sure how up to date this is. Okay, so I'm looking at it here. It's sort of looking like here's December 1st, here's December 2nd, right? Here's all of December, this here to here, right? So this is December 10th. Yeah, so that's December 20th. That's the end of the year. So see that it looks like the E magnitude, the visual so-called magnitude, measurements are getting pretty close to fifth magnitude. Oh, so that is visible in a dark sky. So you're going to see that really it's a dark sky. This solid blue line is a model prediction of how bright it's gonna get, and you can see how the data is following that. I'm sort of seeing maybe a trend that it's going off this way. Maybe, I mean, it's hard to tell, right? But it sort of looks like, right, all those points are that line. So at least right now, if you sort of extrapolate that out, it doesn't look like it's going to get as bright as predicted, at least according to that model. So, but that's right anyway. If you have any kind of telescope, for sure, get out and take a look. You'll see this in binoculars too. No problem at all. I'm not quite sure how big it is. Can we? I don't know what this is all about here. So, yeah, they made a little movie showing its rotation. So they have a rotation period of 8.91 hours. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of neat how it makes a spiral. I mean, it should, but it's kind of a neat pattern.
I want like if you go back up, it tells you how long it is until it gets closer.
Oh, here, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's close approach, which is this. I don't know if you can see this this orange line That's called perigee, which is the closest approach to Earth. So actually, looking at this again, what I said was sort of,
Tom Van Scotter's got a fun fact. The Lucetta mission was originally planned to visit Comet 46P, but due to launch schedules, they had to change the target and Lucetta to visit 67P instead.
oh, interesting. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Well, uh, I think, the situation that we are in our understanding of comets, I think any old comet will do. But yeah, that's kind of an interesting little tidbit there. Neat, neat. I don't think 67P was quite as active as this guy though. So I think 67P's perihelion is much further, right? I think this guy, if there's any, yeah, see, they're not giving any kind of like apparent radius or anything like that. Observing geometry. No, it's not really. I've never looked at the site, so I'm not. I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit. Let's just see if there's any log of information. Let's see if there's any. I'd like to see a size, right? Hope to be. We lose Bobby? I think we did. Hey, Bobby, you're on here twice.
Oh, yeah, for some whatever reason, I got kicked out.
Well, see, you must have been misbehaving in some way. That's the only explanation. I'm not quite sure what all this stuff is. Just observations, I guess. I'm not sure what any of this is. As part of the campaign, we're collecting observing plans from professional astronomers observing the comets. The observation plans are summarized below in a calendar and table. Note that only day precision is given, and the dates are specified in universal time. Okay, so this is just, I guess, when observations were made and who did it. Okay, well that's cool. So they're just showing the little where things were observed. Looks like in September, right? They really started kicking it up. Got a whole bunch more observers in there, including tests. That's kind of cool. Trappist. Let's see, what else do we have here? I don't know what DCT is. That's I'm not familiar with that. Is Sophia is that the airborne observatory? I don't remember. 42-inch, I guess, at Lowell Observatory. Cool. Yeah, see, then there's a lot more observers here. Automated Newtonian telescope. That's kind of cool. Wow, look at all these observations now. Holy moly. Must be December. Kind of cool.
Give them an early Christmas gift.
Yeah. Well, if you've never seen a comet, I encourage you to go out and take a look. It's it's definitely not the most exciting thing in the world to sort of just look at. But again, it's the kind of thing where if you realize what you're seeing, then it's really amazing, right? Really, really incredible. So yeah, if you can, take a look. And, now's a good time to actually see it moving, right? Because the closer it is, the faster it seems to be moving. So, you know, I would think that the telescope that it looked at and then came back in an hour, looked at it again, you will have noticed, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting to realize that things are happening up there. And sometimes we don't realize the motions, at least according to us, are way too small, or longish periods
Hey,
of time.
comments here. Hell Boop was great. What happened to Hell Boop? Is it still around? Or did it evaporate?
No, Hail Bob, as far as I know, did Hail Bob. It isn't it's Bob, but them both. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if Hail made it or not. I remember, maybe somebody in the chat can remind us what that is all about. Yeah, and especially if you haven't seen it before. This, I mean, and as it is right now, that's pretty seriously bright. So yeah, but I'm not any kind of apparent eyes. So maybe Cow Sky. Gotta get Uncle Bill back on here to walk us through their part of Cow Sky at some point. I think it's about that time. So night comets. And here it is. It's called, I guess. And
Uncle Bill Dora remembers Hale Bop, but what was the question?
As Hail Bob, was that what ones that evaporated when it came around the sun? I mean, I know that.
No, I will check Wikipedia.
Yeah, Lovejoy did that. Hail Bob, I'm thinking that Hail Bob is coming back. Just had an apparition, so it was a nice one. Okay, so let's see if we can get any kind of side here. So this is as of for here. Oh, okay, you don't. Let's just increase this one day, and we can come down. So it is 2:39 UTC on the 2nd of December of this moment. So let's see. So this is where it is in the sky, the position. So hourly motion, right? 283.9 arc seconds. I'm going to go and grab my handy calculator. 283.9 divided by 60 will give you 4.7 arc minutes. Okay, 4.7 arc minutes is roughly.
At this point, you probably recently have more experience with Gas Sky than Uncle Bill Duran.
I don't think so. Anyway, so right now in an hour, Wirtanen is moving about 1/6 of the diameter of the moon in an hour. So yeah, you will definitely be able to see that kind of motion. And I encourage you to look at that too. So let's see, distance to the sun, 1.0 AU. Distance to the Earth, look at that, 0.11 AU. So 1/10 of an astronomical unit. It's like 10 million kilometers away. That is darn close. Let's see, moon phase, position angle of the ion tail. But they don't give an apparent size. It's frustrating. It's it's got to be a pretty decent size, I would think. It's kind of weird if they don't give that kind of info. Maybe if I go into a different mode here. Let's see, second. Tell me anything else. It's giving a. Did it give a magnitude 4? I don't know. It's saying 5.4. That's pretty darn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look at this one. Now this one is also pretty darn bright, and I'm gonna try to pronounce that. It's over in Ophiuchus, which you're gonna have to look at in the morning. Let's see.
Hey, welcome to Duran. He said he does 2 things, so I have Cass guy sitting where I want what he wants via the email alerter, and therefore almost every day he never actually visits that site.
Oh yeah, and in fact, I don't think I've set up on that yet. I need to get on that. Yeah, I would like to have that alert each day because, well, no, not that I did it, but it would probably give me even more to talk about. Oy, I don't think I need any more. Anyway, let's go over to Cloudy Nights and get going on December astronomical events. Yes, Dave Mitski comes through again. Cheers.
You're starting to lag quite a bit. Anybody seeing that as well?
Entirely possible. I feel a little bit today. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, every single month, Dave Mitski creates this pretty impressive. I've been in astronomy for a while, and so I've seen a lot of these calendars, right? And this one I really like. I mean, there's a lot of information, but I like the fact that it's all in universal time. That, I haven't found its accuracy in terms of time and everything. But I think for the most part, we're doing pretty good. All right, so let's see. Well, is on. So today, the only thing that's going on is that Venus is at its greatest illuminated extent.
Okay, Tom Van scored the current answer for Hale-Bopp returns around 4380. Its orbital period was altered due to the gravitational effects approaching Jupiter in 96.
Yeah. I do recall now that it was one of the long period moments.
Yeah, you're really starting to lag now.
Lagging. Well, that's how it goes. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. I'm not exactly sure what greatest illuminated extent means. Familiar with that term. I maybe We can Google it. Oh, can we do that here? Venus at its brightest.
Yeah, but that's from September.
Astronomers. Yeah. Well, that's just it was at its brightest. So,
And what our alarm says is true. I guess we won't be around to see it, and maybe the whole human race won't be around as well.
We'll see if it's not due to come back until 4380. Yeah, I'm my plan. Oh, not on that one. Yeah, I guess that's the saying that it's at its brightest. It's just kind of a weird way of saying it. But anyway, that actually just happened a couple hours ago, right? 2 hours and 46 minutes ago. Venus was at its brightest. So, of course, Venus is a so-called morning star.
It did not evaporate as well.
Okay, yeah. I didn't think it did. So, okay. All right, well, cool. So let's keep going here. So the third moon, Mars. So on 12/4, it says the earliest end of evening twilight at 40 degrees takes place today. Okay. Moon close to Mercury, moon close to Jupiter. It's Mercury stationary in right ascension, so it's still moving north-south, but it's not moving east-west. So, oh, okay, and I guess, yeah, of course, it's been in a westward motion for a little while, so it's going to now start moving east. Let's see. Earliest sunset is going to happen on the 7th. New moon occurs on the 7th at 7:20 UTC. And Mars and Neptune are really close to one another. Holy moly. 0.04 degrees. So that's pretty darn close. 0.04 times 60. So that's 2.4 arc minutes. Wow. So that's less than 1/10 of a lunar diameter. Wow. That's pretty close. Eros. Is that its opposition? What, on the 7th? Yeah, on the 7th at 16 hours UTC. Eros is one of the big asteroids. Again, it's a thing, that you really can't see in binoculars, but you can see that in a telescope. And over the course of, I don't know, maybe a few hours, you can probably see it moving. There's another asteroid at opposition. Of course, opposition is when it's on the opposite side of the sun. So the sun is on one side of the sky, and the object is on the other side of the sky. So as the sun sets, Eros is rising, and vice versa. So the moon is going to occult Saturn in northern China and southeastern Russia. So you've got a couple days. You've got over a week. And, with a week's warning, I think we can all make it. Right? We can we can head out there. And, you know, I mean, how often does the moon pass in front of Saturn? So I think we should book our flights now. And I, th- I think that's enough time, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, I will see you there. In the meantime, let's see. So the moon is going to occult Pluto on the 10th. If you're in, again, China, the Aleutian Islands, Micronesia. So while this is turning into a complicated trip, but it's possible that you could probably see these two events. Let's see, this one's happening at 5 hours UTC. This one's happening at 3 hours UTC. So as soon as you see this one, you've got to go because you have 22 hours to get to your next thing. I think that's possible.
Well, afterward, if you want to see a comet, it's a good time.
Yes, Atta, hoping that you have some clear skies there because it's super convenient, right? I mean, as soon as it gets dark at night, you can roll out there and take a look. And yeah, I mean, with a telescope, pretty much, you know, I mean, if you're in a big, bright city, okay, you may not see it. But if you've got, you know, some pretty decent dark, and I think you said you could get out to a place that's what, Bortle 3. Oh yeah, you'll have no problem at all, and you'll see a nucleus, and you'll see a coma, and you might see a tail, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, this one's really nice and close, and he's going to get really, really bright. And you know, comets are unpredictable, so it could have an outburst. It could completely just fade away to nothing. I mean, it's at perihelion, so it's really doubtful it's going to fade or anything. But you know, I mean, you know, if a comet is going to do any kind of outburst or anything, it's going to do it on the way out. I think that's sort of been the history of comets. So yeah. Anyway, it's a good time to be taking a look at that. All right, so let's see. Okay, so there's an occultation of Pluto by the moon if you're over in this area. So on the 12th, moon is at apogee. That means it's furthest away from Earth this time in its orbit. So yeah, 405,000 kilometers. That's almost exactly the same distance that Io is from Jupiter. I think Io is something like I think its perigove is something like 420,000 or so. So really, really close to the Earth-Moon distance. So that, you know, that I mentioned
people
that
in the chat keep talking about Hale-Bopp.
What's that about Hale-Bopp?
Check the chat.
Okay, Hale-Bopp was extra special. Yeah. Hale-Bopp sort of stole the show from Hayakutake, though. So Hale-Bopp was brighter, but Hayakutake was bigger, and so I wasn't incredibly impressed with Hale-Bopp. I mean, it was okay. If I'm thinking of the same one, this was this 1996? Is that right? Is that when Hale-Bopp? I think so. Hale-Bopp was bright, but it was small. Hayakutake was pretty bright, I mean, it was visible to the naked eye, and it was big. It was big. So, yeah, everybody was excited about Hale Bopp. I was not, and am still not. But all comets are pretty awesome. So, not to knock that at all. So, all right, let's see. So, the apogee, right? 400,000 kilometers. So Mars and Uranus are at a heliocentric conjunction. Okay, so yeah, that just means that if you draw a line between the Sun and Uranus, Mars is going to intersect that line. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, Geminids. Okay, yeah, the Geminids are pretty cool meteor shower. So I guess that's supposed to peak at 13 hours UTC on the 14th. Moon next to Neptune. Moon, Mars, and Neptune lie within a circle of a diameter of 4.89 degrees. Yeah. Various lunar features that can sort of only be seen certain times because of the shadowing. Mars. So on the 15th of December, Mercury is going to be at greatest elongation west. So western elongation means that it is west of the sun, which means that it's in the morning. So, and that makes sense, right? Because we just watched it go in front of the sun, inferior conjunction, what, a week ago or so. So, yeah, I mean, in that many more days, it's as far out as it's going to go from the sun. And that's what maximum elongation means. Where'd that go? Yeah. I think they sort of have a typo here. Greatest elongation, western elongation. First quarter moon. Let's see. Sun enters the constellation of Sagittarius at 14 hours UTC on the 18th. Those of you who keep track of those kinds of things. Aldebaran. Mercury is pretty close to Jupiter. That's kind of cool. Here we go. Winter solstice. This is one of my 4 favorite days of the year. So, yeah, so that's happening at 22:23 UTC this year on the 21st. So, yeah, you'll have to, just so happens that at that time the sun is up from my location, so I will be outside. Yes, indeed, I will be looking at the sun. So you don't want to stare too long at it. Just give it a little bit of a glance. Maybe look at your shadow instead. Yeah, pay some respect to that sun up there. It's, well, I think it's doing a pretty good job. It's not asking for much either. It's just giving and giving and giving. So greatly appreciated. And for us up here in the north, there's going to be more of it starting on that day, at that moment. So yay, yay. Let's see, full moon is at 17:49 on the 22nd. So that's kind of nice. It'll sort of be a Christmas moon. I guess it's called Before Yule the cold moon, the long night's moon, and the oak moon. Huh. Okay. I sort of like the long night's moon. Okay, let's see here. What else is going on? I think we can probably finish this, and then we'll end the live stream there. So, let's see. Yeah. So, if you're interested in this concept called the equation of time, I invite you to investigate that a little bit. But on the 25th at 10 hours UTC, the equation of time is 0. So, and I'm going to have to investigate this a little bit because I'm not quite sure why things don't quite line up. Because the equation of time equaling 0, that has to do with the solstice. It's not coincidental that they are so close in time, but I don't know why they don't happen at exactly the same time. Right? There's a few days there, so yeah, there's all these little details that I don't know. Astronomy's complicated. So much going on. Don't really see anything else. Okay, yeah. Venus is at perihelion, so that is the closest it's going to get to the sun in its current orbit. And they say here that it's 0.7185 astronomical units from the sun. So I think astronomical units about 140 million kilometers. I think that's right. So I'm just going to multiply that by 0.7185. So that's, let's see, that's something, so that's like 100 million kilometers. So, yeah, that's still pretty close. All right, well, cool. Well, that's what's going on, at least in the sky. Yeah, definitely check out the Geminids. Where's the moon there? Is the moon, let's see, it's full. It's full on the 22nd. And a week before that, it's going to be first quarter. So actually, observing meteors is always done best after midnight. And if the moon is at first quarter, it's actually setting at midnight, local time. So, yeah, the Geminids are probably going to be a pretty good show then. So definitely go out and take a look at the Geminids too. They usually put on a pretty good show, and sort of as the name implies, they're radiant. Where they seem to be coming from is out of the constellation of Gemini, hence the name Geminids. Wow, I am almost out. Here, I'll show you here. Oh, let's see. Stop sharing. Look at that. I'm almost out. I'm almost out. So I think this is sort of a crisis. So I'm going to have to end this stream because this is just not acceptable. This needs to be way up there. So all right, you guys. Well, I think for now let's get out of here and call it another successful live stream. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up, thumbs down. Make some comments. Really like to hear the comments. I've actually gotten quite a few views of the Martian sand on the dust cover movie I made. Another thing that I want to do, and I want to do this tomorrow, is I want to talk about the other video I made with the sound and the sound and the stars, the Gaia stars. because yeah, I don't think I got a chance to talk about that. And you know, the kind of art that I'm doing. Um, if you understand what you're seeing, you actually appreciate it a lot more. It's sort of, you know, putting the sight and the sound into a context. Um, actually, is sort of a synergistic effect. It actually makes it really, really neat. But if you're just looking at it and watching and listening, it doesn't. It's sort of like, okay, you know, it's a bunch of sounds and some dots, but it's like, what is it, right? So tomorrow, I'm going to try to remember to talk about that a little bit. I'll talk about how I
Check,
made it.
check, check in before you go.
Check the chat before I go. All right. Um, uh, yes. Well, Uncle Bill, you're exactly right. I mean, that that was one of those comets where yeah, I mean, it was so obvious, right? What did it get to? What was its brightest? Was it like, I want to say it was brighter than zero, right? Was it like -1, -2? I know it was really, really bright, but yeah, I don't remember. Don't remember. It's been
And
too.
don't forget, you were supposed to also send me that sample pack.
The the music.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and don't forget that tomorrow and every Sunday is Music from the Hearts of Space. It's on free every single Sunday from midnight. I think it's Pacific time, midnight to midnight. You can listen to the current show for free. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to do that. It's pretty cool space music if you're into those kinds of things. I am, and that's why I like to talk about it. So, all right, you guys, I think I'm going to get out of here for now. So take care. Bye bye, pups. There,
Bye, kitty.
look at them. Wow. All right. Take care, everybody. I will see you in one spin. I will be here in actually a little bit less than one spin. You notice my tan got all red up here. Look at that. Yeah. Sitting out in the sun for a few hours. It was nice. It was nice. It was a little bit cold, but it was nice to be outside. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. Guys and gals, I should say. So take care. Peace, cheers, and all that. And I will see you later. Bye.
Later.